Hello children, welcome to my class. Hope you all are doing great. Shall we start? Thank you. Okay, so let me just recollect what we did in the earlier class. We read about a story, the ant and the grasshopper, and how the characters behave in the story, how different the shades of the characters are in that story. We spoke about the ant and the grasshopper as human characteristics, because in a fable we also gave examples of few animals. When they're used in a fable, they tend to replace a human. Okay, we also learned about how to form fact files for characters, the animal characters of ant and the grasshopper. Okay, we also discuss about who is learning a lesson in the fable, which character is learning a lesson, and which character behaves the best. Okay, so this was about the last lesson, and I hope you did the task, the fact files of the ant, grasshopper, and that we have talked about. I hope you did the task. And now moving ahead with today's lesson. Okay, we will focus on a little bit of grammar first. Okay, so language focus. A story can be said in two different modes. One is third person narrative and the other is first person narrative. Now, what do we mean by a third person narrative? An outsider tells the story but is not a part of it. When somebody retells a story, without being a part of it, it's called a third person narrative. Now, what is first person narrative? A character tells the story as well as being in it. Say for example here, if the grasshopper, just imagine the grasshopper saying the story. Okay, I was enjoying in the summer weather. I saw an ant collecting food. So he's a part of the story. He's a character in the story itself and saying the story. Okay, so that is called as a first person narrative because it's said by a character in the story itself. Okay. Now here we will learn about the common pronouns associated with the third person and the first person. Okay. Now what do we mean by a pronoun? A pronoun is a word. It is a form of speech. It's a part of the speech. Okay. It is a word in place of a noun. Okay. Like when I say she is a beautiful girl. She has a name, right? For example, I say Shweta is a beautiful girl. So next time, instead of saying the name again, I say she. So she is a beautiful girl. Okay, so she becomes pronoun because it is used to denote the noun Shweta. Instead of using that name again and again, I use the pronoun. So now clear what is a pronoun? So now we come to common pronouns, third person common pronouns. Examples are he, she, it, they, him, her, them, his, hers, theirs. Okay, third person. Now what are the common pronouns of the first person? I, we, me, us, mine, ours. You got the difference? Great. Now we come to possessive pronouns and possessive adjectives. Okay, let's have a look at these two examples. Possessive pronouns take the place of a noun. Okay, so that egg is mine, not yours. This is called possessive pronouns. Mine, yours, possessive pronoun. Okay, now what about possessive adjectives? Let's just see. Possessive adjectives appear with the noun they modify. Okay, like that's my egg, not your egg. So the noun is there, they're appearing with the noun. Okay, my egg, your egg. This the adjective. This is the adjectives. This forms the adjectives for the word egg. Okay, this is again an adjective for the noun egg. Okay, so that's my egg, not your egg. My and your becomes a possessive adjective. Clear everyone? Now we will go a little deep into the classification of the pronoun, personal pronoun, possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns against that particular personal pronoun. Okay, let's have a look. This is a list of personal pronoun, this is the list of possessive adjectives, and this is possessive pronouns. Okay, for I, now here whenever you're saying I, always you know write in capital. It should always be capital I. Okay, so for I, what is the possessive adjective against it? My. And the possessive pronoun? Mine. For you, the possessive adjective is your, and the possessive pronoun is yours. For he, the possessive adjective is his. Possessive pronoun remains the same. This is also his. Okay. For she, the possessive adjective is her, and the possessive pronoun is hers. For the personal pronoun it, the possessive adjective is its, and we do not have any personal pronoun for it. It itself is a personal pronoun, you know, that cannot have any form of any form of the possessive pronoun of it. Okay, so next, the personal pronoun is we. Our is the possessive adjective and ours is the possessive pronoun. Okay, for they, possessive adjective is their, whereas the possessive pronoun is theirs. Clear, everyone? Shall we move to the next part? All right. Okay, now since you know this, okay, since I've explained how to match the possessive adjectives and the possessive pronouns with that particular personal pronoun, let's do an exercise, a very simple exercise. Here, replace the personal pronoun with the correct possessive adjective or pronoun. Okay, wherever you feel you have to use a possessive adjective, use it. Wherever there is a need to use a possessive pronoun, use it. But you have to make the sentence sound meaningful. Okay, in brackets the personal pronoun is given. Let's see. Winter made it presence felt. In order to add meaning to this sentence, this word should be changed to winter made its. So this is a possessive adjective. Instead of it, we write its. Possessive adjective. Winter made its presence felt. Next, we are collecting food for, in brackets, we stores. Doesn't make any sense. So let's try to replace this word we with either a possessive adjective of that same word or a possessive pronoun of it. We are collecting food for our stores. So in place of we, you write our. So that is again a possessive adjective. See, we, our. The earlier one we use it, its. That's also possessive adjective. Here also we use a possessive adjective, right? We are collecting food for our stores. Next, all the food I have collected should be, in brackets, I. Should be, all the food I have collected, I should be mine. Only then it makes sense. So this should be replaced with mine. All the food I have collected should be mine. That's a possessive pronoun here. Okay. They gave me, in brackets, they, word. Okay. They gave me, it will be their. Okay. Their word. See, there is a possessive adjective. So I'm using a possessive adjective here. Next, all that I have is, in brackets, you. Here, if I look at the possessive adjective against you, it's your. The possessive pronoun, it's yours. So if I say all that I have is your, does it make sense? No. So in order to make it sound meaningful, I have to say yours. All that I have is yours. the possessive pronoun, only then this sentence becomes meaningful. Okay, so these were a few examples of how you can turn up, you can use a possessive adjective or a possessive pronoun in place of a personal pronoun. Okay, clear? Okay, now you know the story, the ant and the grasshopper. Okay, retell the story from the ant and grasshopper's points of view. Okay, imagine in the story, here the grass, somebody else is the narrator, a third person is a narrator who is not a part of the story. Imagine grasshopper being the narrator. How he says, on a fine summer morning, I was enjoying in the sunny weather, I was singing songs without a care of the world. Okay, how does the ant say it if he is the narrator, if the ant is the narrator? Says, on a fine summer morning, when I was busy collecting my food for winter, I saw a lazy grasshopper simply enjoying his time without a care for the future. This is how he speaks. Okay, you see the change? So make changes in the story to make your character the narrator. As I said, now what does the ant really think about the grasshopper? What does grasshopper really think about the ant? Okay, so when you make the particular character the narrator, the feelings that that particular character have about the other character comes into play. Okay, now make notes of your changes, the changes you're making in the story to make the characters narrator one by one. Make the note of such changes. Tell each other the story from your character's point of view. As I said, you can retell the story from the ant's point of view, you can retell the story from a grasshopper's point of view. Children, we are coming to the final part of today's lesson. Okay, we will learn about proverbs today. What is a proverb? A proverb is a memorable saying that gives advice or a life lesson. For example, never judge a duck by his feathers. Okay, it's a one line saying. A few more examples. Let's have a few more examples of proverb. Never put off until tomorrow what you can do today. What's the meaning? Never, finish your tasks today itself. When you can do it today itself, don't extend it till tomorrow. That so you learn a lesson. Okay, proverbs are always about teaching us a lesson. The next one, a friend in need is a friend indeed. This we have all heard so many times. Okay, a real friend is the one who is there with us when we need him or her. Okay, now the third, do as you would be done by. Treat others the same way as they are treating you or you would like to be treated. So that is also a lesson. So these are a few examples of proverbs. Okay, now we will learn about figurative expressions, like make we also have one more proverb called make hay when the sun shines. Okay, make hay when the, that means you should work when the time is there. Okay, if you're running out of sunlight, you won't be able to make hay. What is a figurative expression? Now let's come to it. Now dictionary gives you the literal meaning of a word. Okay, a figurative expression uses images to express meaning. We infer the meaning from the images. Now figurative expressions give us a pictorial representation of the meaning that they want to teach us. Okay, the proverb we'll discuss here is make hay while the sun shines. Okay, this is again a figurative expression. Now look at this cartoon strip. Okay, that is all about this particular proverb, make hay while the sun shines. It's narrated in a form of 2 or 3 sketches of cartoon. There is a story in it. So uh, like this, your task would be design a cartoon strip to illustrate a proverb like this. Sketch the scene and write dialogue in the speech bubbles. Add any necessary narrative text. Keep it brief. Complete the cartoon strip and share it with your friends. This is your task for the next day. All right. I hope you had fun. Okay, so now take a break, play, but don't forget to do the task that is allotted to you. Okay, bye bye.